Hey guys, Chad Hoover, Kayak Bassing TV. So here's the deal. I do a lot of videos where I try to teach you. I do a lot of videos where I talk about theory. And then I get a lot of comments that say, Chad, can you tell me what to throw right now? So I'm gonna do that. All right guys, so here's what I'm gonna do. It is September, let me check it real quick. September 7th, okay? It is a Thursday. It's 72 degrees outside right now, and it gets cooler at night. It's September. Fall is setting in. So a lot of people say, hey man, can you take all this stuff and just put it together for me? Just tell me what to throw. So I'm gonna take one specific instance, and I'm gonna break down what you should throw, when you should throw it, where you should throw it, and why you should throw it, based on where I live, and you can apply it to where you live. So first and foremost, I'm gonna open up my Scout Look hunting app. Now, they make a hunting version and a hunting version and a fishing version. They're pretty much the same thing when it comes to the feeding time. So here's the deal. I'm gonna try to get you guys to zoom in on this. We're pretty much on the full moon right now, all right? I'm not a big time full moon fisherman. I really like the new moon better for fishing at night, but it's our first cool snap, okay? Our first cool snap after the photo period has started to shorten. So if you look at the minor feeding time, it's 8:10 to 9:10, all right? The major feeding time is 1:50 to 3:50, and notice that the major's a little longer. Here's the deal. During the day, as the temperatures start to cool off, there's a lot of boat traffic. People are getting in their last trips. They're getting in their last run on their jet skis. They're getting their last boat run. And the minor feeding time is right after dark. The minor feeding time is coincident when bass just first start to move shallow, especially big females who move into those places to stage to intercept shad and to even intercept brim and smaller bass moving into the areas to set up to start to ambush shad that are about to make a migration. But here's the thing. They are looking for a big meal, okay? They're looking for something to get them a lot of maximum return on investment, and it's a minor feeding time, so the fish aren't as aggressive. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to tell you exactly what to throw, where to throw it, how to throw it, and when to throw it. This feeding time, an hour after dark, is perfect. You get out there about an hour before dark, start getting your stuff set up. You paddle out at dark and you go find yourself an offshore hump. You go find yourself a ridge or a tree or a laydown or something heading into a creek mouth, okay? I wanna make that as specific as I can, but I gotta be general. For me, I'm gonna run down the road to a nearby boat ramp, Stark Knob. I'm gonna paddle out to the main creek channel, okay? At that main creek channel, there's a funnel where the water drops off on both sides, where the channel comes in, and there's a hump on one side, okay? That's the first place those big females are gonna move up to as they follow those shad up the creek. And then I'm gonna throw one bait, and I'm gonna throw one bait all night long. And that's that bait right there. Now, if it was a primary feeding time, I may throw a big spoon, a big swim bait or something like that. But this bait, you can reel slow. This bait has a dark profile. This bait has some flash because it's a full moon. This bait has got a lot of thump, and because it's a light wire, it's got a lot of vibration, it's got a lot of rock and wobble. This is a killer bait to get those first committal big females, those 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and even some of your 9 and 10 pounders, depending on where you live. That bait right there has got a very flat head profile. It's gonna fall through the water column really well. It's gonna resist rolling on its side. The way you're gonna wanna fish this bait, you wanna throw it out, and you're gonna hold your rod tip up and let it fall. And that blade is gonna act like a helicopter, like a parachute, going to the bottom. And just as it hits the bottom, you're gonna kind of snatch it up, and you're gonna soft hands it, and you're gonna slow reel. And you're just gonna slow reel, and you're gonna slow reel, and you're gonna slow reel. And let me tell you how you know when the fish are on it. You can feel it. And you're gonna look at me like I got a unicorn horn growing out of my forehead, and this is why you need to fish with loose hands. You're gonna hold that rod tip up. You're gonna be reeling that bait. You're gonna feel that bait feel like it cut loose, like it sped up. And the reason it's doing that is a big bass has swam up behind it, and it's taken that drag off the back of the blade. It's got rid of that turbulence. 9 times out of 10, when I'm reeling and I feel that, I drop my rod tip, it makes that bait nose over a little bit, that fish grabs it, and I set the hook, because if they're following it, you can feel it. With a super high-end quality rod, like an all-pro rod, with really sensitive braid, like Kansan braid from Seagar, and a loose hand on that reel, you can feel that fish swim up behind it. Their strike zone is smaller, so you want this bait that's gonna stay in the strike zone for a long time. It's a minor feeding time, so they're not as aggressive, but you're gonna have the water to yourself. You're gonna have fish that are the first fish to move up. You're gonna have them to yourself. You need to do this 3, 4, maybe 5 nights in a row on the waning side coming off the full moon, and you need to come up to the part where you're leading into and coming off of a new moon. This is the time where I get goosebumps on the back of my neck thinking about what I'm going to do. I get excited about it. It's hard to film because it's at night, okay? It's hard to film because you can't do a lot of filler. It's hard to light the fish up. It's hard to light your kayak up. But if you're asking me, what do I do right now? Hey, Chad, take all that stuff, put it together for me. Tell me what do I go do right now? Colorado blade, mirror finish, dark bait that silhouettes well at night, 10 to 17 pound leader, you know, 30 to 40 pound braid, heavy action rod, cast the bait out, let it hit the bottom, slow roll it with a 6.5, 7.1 to 1 gear ratio reel, but just slow roll it, keeping it just up off the bottom and keeping it running into the tops of cover. Then what you want to do is you want to hang on. You want to make sure you have a camera with you, because you're going to catch a giant. You're going to catch big fish. You're going to be the first one catching those big fish, and you're going to follow those fish, and you're going to know when they get to that spot. So they got to get there before they get into the creeks, and you're going to be the one that starts there. And when the bite drops off there, you move into the creek mouth. And when the bite drops off there, you move all the way to the back of the creek and work your way out. See, I catch them at the front and follow them in. Once they start in, I go to the back and work my way out and find them, and then that way I'm the person that's following them, and I'm the first to get to them. So if you want to catch fish right now, have this bait tied on. Go fishing tonight. Go fishing tomorrow night. Go fishing the night after that, and be ready to do the exact same thing around the new moon. That minor feeding time after dark, it's the second spring. It's the first time it starts to cool off, and those bass really start to get jacked up. It's kind of like you do for football season. That first couple of games of the season get you fired up. It's game time. Get out there and catch them. I'm Chad Hoover, Kayak Bassing TV. That's what you throw right now. So get off the couch, go. Turn me off. Well, after you hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, hit the like and leave a comment. But after that, then, you know, go. So while you're still watching, go catch a bass right now. No, seriously, go. Bye. Go. Doing that. I know I said get away, but hold on just a second. If you do catch that fish doing that, post a picture of that fish on Instagram, tag @KayakBassFishing, hashtag I did it Chad. I'll find that picture and I'll give you some KBF swag. So do me a favor, let me know if it worked. Post it, tag it, win some swag. Okay, now go. Like, I'm done.